what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make my quartz house number 11, and that's an accurate number by the way. I've done all of the necessary research, and I've finally determined how many of these houses I've actually made. It only took me 10 episodes to reach this point. I'm pretty proud of myself. If you want to make the house, here's what you're going to need. You will need some block of quartz, and some spruce wood planks. You will also need some glass pane, and finally, grab yourself some glass block. Of course, you might also want some doors and some crazy paving. You might even want some, I don't know, flint, but really, all you need are those four materials right there. So once you have those, and once you've figured out what you want to make it, ignore that quartz. I dropped it on the floor earlier. Don't worry, it's supposed to be there. So once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here. You're going to want to kick off your house with a row of 3 quartz in a row on the floor. There's 1, 2, 3. Once you have your row of 3 quartz, voice break there, you on top of this third block want to go up by 2. So that's 1, 2. Then go right of this second block by 2. 1, 2. Then go down from the second block by 2. Then go right of the second block, this one on the ground, by 2. 1, 2. And what you've basically made there is the entrance to the house. I know quite a lot of you guys like to know when, where, and how the entrance is and will be in time, and that's exactly where it is. So, for your guys' benefit, that's where the entrance is and is going to be. You're welcome. Once you've built that, you now want to come to the right hand side of your house, take a sideways view to what you've just made, and going right of this last block you placed, you want to go right by, I'm sure that this is in the instructions somewhere, go right by 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Once you have your row of 12, then take a sideways view to it. So you're looking towards the front of the house, and go right of this 12th block by 18. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Once you have your row of 18, again take a sideways view to what you've just made, and oh, these plans are very well set up. Take a sideways view to what you've just made, and go to the right of this 18th block by 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then take a sideways view to the 6th block, so you're looking towards the back of the house, and go right of the 6th block by 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Once you have your row of 12, all you basically want to do, no more sideways, you basically just want to connect this 12th block all the way back to where we just started to give you this shape right here. Kind of looks like a really primitive gun, the kind of gun that I drew when I was 5 years old. I'm joking, when I was 16 years old. Or it's an L shape. Or is that a J? I get those mixed up. Anyway, once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So, we now want to go all the way around the house, and on top of each one of the, I don't know how many corners there are, on top of each one of the corner blocks, we want to go up by 4. So like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be pretty obvious to you which are corner blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're signified by the fact that they are corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally one more to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. To give you something which should look a little bit like this. So if you don't know what I was talking about, it should now probably be apparent to you what you have to do. So once you've raised up each one of the corners by 4, you then just want to connect them all together in the big giant L shape that we started this house off with. So just go all the way around the top with your quartz, just connecting all of those 4th blocks together to give you a big giant 3D L, which we've almost done. I'm currently stalling because I've not finished it yet, but we're very close. And here we are. So once you've reached this point right here, you've raised up each one of the corners by 4, you've connected them all together. I've got some good news for you. We now have to do it again. Yeah, we kind of have to do the exact same thing again. So now that we've made a whole new set of corners, looking pretty nice if you ask me, a whole new set of corners, we now have to raise up those corners each by 4 and then connect them all together again. I know. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just get the fun of combining them all together at the top. Just go all the way around. Whoops. No. There we go. Got it right. Hand-eye coordination for the win. So we just connect them all together. And then what will we do next? Let me take a look at these plans. We'll probably fill in the floor, add in all of the detail that exists, do the balcony, and then mess about with the outside. Very easy house. So let's just do this. So once you have again raised up each one of the four corners and then connected them together, I know, connected them together, you now want to do this once you've reached this point right here. So to make the next part easy, you now want to fill in the entire second or first floor depending on what system you use. I'm going to call this the first floor. I'm not a hotel. Wait, maybe I'm a ground floor, first floor. Damn. Okay, so fill in the second floor with whatever material you want to use for the floor. I'm going to be using quartz because, well, I don't know why, I really do like quartz as a flooring material, but that's just me. You can use whatever material you want. You could use glass block if you wanted to, you could possibly use your spruce wood planks, or you could use black stained clay, as I seem to be using that for everything myself these days. I love that material. Black stained clay. Get it near you soon. So, once you've completely filled in the second floor of your house with whatever material you wanted to do, completely up to you, this is what you want to do next. So, this is the point of the video that gets kind of hard to explain-y, so I'm kind of just gonna kind of do it and then show you guys the end result of it. This is not my favorite part of these tutorials, but unfortunately when I fail to put things into words, I've kind of just got to do stuff and then show you guys what it should look like, and hopefully you guys can emulate it using your very own eyes and ears. I don't know what you're using your ears for, you should be using your eyes. What are you doing? So just want to basically do this with your spruce wood planks. And if you've made one of these types of houses before, I've made quite a few of these in the past couple of months, you guys should be very, very familiar with this process. And you basically, with your spruce wood planks, just want to like trace along the inside of the bottom of the framework of the house, except you want the spruce wood to be one block higher and one block inwards. You see that explanation doesn't make any sense, does it? But hopefully you guys can see quite easily what I've done there. Anyway, once you've got that first layer of spruce wood planks applied to the bottom of your house, you then want to take out your glass pane and just stack a layer of glass pane directly on top of your layer of spruce wood planks. So just go all the way around and apply the pane. I promise, this does not hurt the wood, it is for the wood's own good. You see, apply the pane to the wood, hurt. Anyway, once you've got that layer of glass pane applied to the first layer of wood, you then, on top of the pane, just want to apply another layer of spruce wood planks. So just go all the way around the top of the panes and just apply a layer of spruce wood planks. And once you've done that, you have successfully completed the entire ground floor. So let's just take a look at this. This is a little awkward. Probably have to go inside just to do this bit. There we go, just got to come inside here just to do the corner. The corners being awkward, you know how they are. So that is what you want to have for the entire ground floor of the house. Very, very simple. And if you've made any of the past couple of quartz houses, you're probably very familiar with this process and it shouldn't cause you any trouble whatsoever. So once you've completely taken care of the ground floor, which hopefully you have, we now want to move up to the second floor and do the exact same thing. So you quite literally, and it's a lot easier to see on the second floor since we're not all cramped into the ground floor, you basically just want to do the exact same thing with your spruce wood planks. You just want to go all the way around the inside of the framework of words, and you just want to end up with that shape exactly as you did with the ground floor. And once you've ended up with that shape, you then just want to, with your glass pane, just apply the pane all the way around the wood. Again, it doesn't hurt the wood. It's good for it. It treats it. It makes it harder. What am I talking about? Anyway, apply all of the pane to the first layer of spruce wood planks, and then once you've applied all of the pane, just throw another layer of spruce wood planks directly on top of it. So you're just going to end up with the exact same effect as you have on the ground floor of the house. Very, very simple. So what you want to end up with... come on. Why so awkward? What you want to end up with is something which should look a little bit like this, just to show you guys the top view first of all, and there we go, the exact same thing on the ground floor and the second floor. Very, very simple. So once you've reached this point right here, we can now continue on, and there's not that much left for us to do. So first of all, we're just going to come all the way up to the top of the house and fill in the roof. So once you've reached this point, come all the way up to the top of the house and just completely fill in the roof with your glass blocks, or whatever material you want, of course. I'd use glass blocks just to keep it all nice and open and nice and bright and white and modern and such, but of course you can use whatever you want. You could use your spruce wood planks or your quartz, it's really up to you, but all you want to do is just completely fill in the roof like this. Once you've got that taken care of, we can now move on. So we're now going to do part of the balcony. So how can I do this in the easiest way possible? You know what, I know, as a matter of fact, come all the way to the back of the house, where we have this long stretch of house, the longest part of the house anyway. Come all the way over to the right hand side and locate this block right here, this like middle block of the house, if you guys can see what I'm talking about, and from this block by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then take a sideways view to this 6th block and go to the right of it by 12, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then basically just connect this 12th block all the way back to the front part of the house, where we have like the upper left hand corner of the entrance. So the shape that you basically want to form, to give you guys a bird's eye view, you've kind of just formed like an L shape or a J shape. Again, I get those confused, whichever one that is, and you just basically want to turn the house into a big giant rectangular shape, if you guys can see what I'm talking about. Anyway, once you've formed that big giant long balcony, this is what you want to do next. So we now want to make that exact same shape that we've made with the balcony, and we now want to carve it into the floor, like just below the balcony, if you guys can see what I'm talking about. You just want to knock out the blocks on the floor that are just directly below the balcony, just as I'm doing now. So just carve that exact same shape into the ground and replace those blocks with quartz. So you just want to have something which should look like this. What you then want to do is you just want to connect this block right here, if you guys can see what I'm talking about, this block all the way to the front of the balcony. So you've kind of like sectioned the balcony off now, so it's in like two halves. You've got that vertical part and you've got that horizontal part. And once you've done that, we're now going to fill the balconies in a little bit. So this horizontal balcony, this front balcony, you just completely want to fill it in with your material of choice. Again, I'm going to be using spruce wood planks, but you guys can use glass, you can use quartz. Quartz would look nice. You could use black stained clay. I come to the same materials over and over again, but really you can use whatever you want. All that's important is that you just completely fill in this front balcony with your spruce wood planks or whatever you want to use. This side balcony though is ever so slightly different. You only want to fill the outside of the balcony in with your material. If you guys can see what I'm talking about, you just want to like trace along the inside of the rectangular shape that is the balcony with your material of choice, and you just want to have that. You want most of the balcony hollow. You just want to go around the inside of it once with your material. So once you've done that, we now actually have to make an entrance onto this balcony, don't we? I completely forgot about this. So the entrance that I had in mind was going to go right here, kind of like out of everybody's way, and the only idea that I had for the balcony, there's no doors involved. I just knocked out those 3 blocks on my original design, and I replaced those 2 blocks, kind of like the both ends of the T-shape that I knocked out. I replaced the both ends of the T-shape with my spruce wood planks, and that's all I have for the entrance onto the balcony. I don't believe in doors, those are for the Amish. So once you've got that taken care of, the entrance, you've got the front balcony filled in, the side balcony, we now just have to put on the safety rails, don't we? Because, well, honestly, safety first, and safety is everything. So I actually have both of the balconies split up. I have the front horizontal balcony and the side balcony kind of like sectioned off from each other, and you guys will see why in just a moment. So with your your glass pane, if you're so inclined, you might want to go all the way around the outside of your balcony, and then you just want to add like a strip of glass pane that kind of like separates both of the areas. Again, you guys will see my rationale for this in just a moment. However, you could have them unseparated if you wanted to, and you can move things about. That's your prerogative, of course. You guys can do whatever you want. So, once you've reached this point right here, we're now going to... You see this area that we have underneath the balcony that we kind of like copied and traced around into the ground? Well, we now have to knock out all of these blocks, and we're basically just going to have a pool down here, so we'll also have to knock out the layer of ground that is directly underneath the layer of ground that we're knocking out now. Oh, the fun. The fun. So I'm just going to do this on recording because it's not actually taken too long, and that's probably all of the tutorial that I'll leave in this video. I'll then probably whisk away, which makes me sound ever so graceful, and I'll mess about with the interior of the house and ever so slightly more of the outside of the house because I'll be digging a couple of trenches around the outside of the house. So what you then want to do, if you have then just dug out this area, or what you might want to do, because you'll be able to see through the water of the pool, you guys can see where we have like the ground floor framework of the house. You may want to just knock out the area just below that and then replace that with a different material. I'm using quartz, but you guys can use whatever you want. Glowstone looks kind of cool because it illuminates the pool. And now, like I said, we've also got to, or I have to, because this is how I like it, you may also want to knock out the area underneath the layer of area that you've just knocked out, and we'll replace it with a nicer material. I'm going to be using spruce wood planks. Completely forgot the name of those. I'm going to be using spruce wood planks, but of course you guys, again, can use whatever you want. I can't encourage you guys enough to do whatever you want with these houses. I don't know why I usually have to tell you guys. I mean, I read a lot of comments that's just, you know, that says, like, can I use this instead of this, or can I do this instead of that? Of course you can. You can do whatever you want. It's your house. You can do, you know, you can build this in pink wool if you wanted to. You can build it in glowstone. You can do whatever you want. Make all of your changes and claim it as your own. It's that's completely what you have to do with the Minecrafts. Just do what you want and do what you like. You don't even have to make it in this material. Like I said, make it in pink wool if you have to. You don't have to have the balcony. You can completely get rid of that if you so chose. You can add your own balconies. Just do whatever you like with the house. It's completely up to you. So I've now completely dug out the pool area, and we now have to fill this in with lava. I'm joking, not lava. Well, then again, maybe milk. No, we'll use water for the pool. Let's not go crazy. So we now just have to fill in this area with water. Water all the way around. Just completely fill in this pool. And then we're going to add the water feature that's going to be on the balcony. Is that... it's still flowing. Where have I've missed a block somewhere. It's all still perfect, so we've now filled in the pool, and you guys can see what I mean. You can see, like, underneath the framework of the house, and that's why I replaced it with a quartz block or glowstone. Like I said, glowstone looks kind of cool because it then illuminates this whole area underneath as well. Anyway, the reason that I left this part of the balcony completely hollow is because with my watering can now, my water bucket, I'm now just going to kind of like go around the edge of the area that we've just left hollow with my bucket of water, and we've now formed a nice little waterfall style thing on the house, if you guys can see exactly what I've done there. And I don't know, I think it looks really cool. In the original design, I didn't have this water feature. I had another entrance here, and you could kind of like walk all around the outside. But of course, if you guys would like that better, then you guys can do that. That's completely up to you. And once you've done that, that's probably all I need to show you with this house. That's probably the entire tutorial, not the entire tutorial, I don't even know if that's a word. That's probably the entire tutorial 100% completed. That's all I'm going to be showing you how to make. However, what I'm now going to do, I'm going to cut out, I'm going to mess about with the interior of the house slightly, I'm going to dig an area around the house, replace that with some fun stuff, and then I'm going to be back and I'll show you guys what the house should look like once it's been 100% completed. So I'll be back in just a moment if you guys want to stick around. And I'm back, so as you guys might be able to see, I have messed about with the outside of the house just a little bit, and you can't see what I've done to the interior, but I've messed about there as well. Let's take a look, shall we? We'll start with the interior. So, the thing that I've become accustomed to doing as of recent with these quartz houses, and since I've kind of expelled doors from my life, is whatever the material that I use for the ground floor, the inside of the ground floor, I kind of want to like bring it outside as well, so it kind of like just overlaps and you get that outside-inside integration, which I'm always talking about. I've never mentioned that before ever. So I replaced the ground floor inside the house with spruce wood planks just because I like it. It's nice and dark, I like the effect. Barely any room in the interiors of these houses, just how I like it. You can just about walk around the stairs, which I use spruce wood planks for, and I backed them again with my new favourite staring material. Staring material? It sounds like a magazine. Anyway, staring material, my glass blocks. Beautiful. I love the stairs. I don't know why. I really like the effect. Coming upstairs now, by the way, there's only really a couple of places you can place the stairs. You could place them right here, I guess, like leading up to the entrance, so you could walk straight into the second floor, or the more logical place, in my thinking, is in this corner, kind of packed away, all by their lonesome, so it's not really interfering with anything. Anyway, coming up to the second floor, no more room on the second floor than there is the first floor, although it feels a lot more open. It's a lot brighter, a lot nicer. Again, similar amount of room, not too much to say about the interior whatsoever other than what I've used for the flooring and where I've placed the stairs. So, coming out onto the balcony, you can see the other balcony from here. This is why I sectioned off the other balcony, just so that you can't really... I'm very clumsy. I end up falling down places a lot. That's why I always have these rails. Plus, I like the look of the glass pane, kind of like as a safety rail going all around the house. I don't know why. I didn't realise you could hop it, by the way. I thought it was kind of like a fence where you couldn't hop over it. But anyway, yeah, this usually happens. I'm usually walking along my balconies, and if I don't have my safety rails, it's just like, run, and suddenly I'm drowning, and then it's all over, and it's a real problem. So that's the interior of the house, 100% fully completed. That's all done. There's nothing more that I'm going to be doing with that. You guys can of course add your own stuff. That's what it should look like though. That's what I'm getting at, and that's what the balcony should look like as well. If you guys want to copy my balcony layout, which you probably will, although I'm sure a few of you guys might mess about with it slightly. Got that nice water feature, I really like that. So, with the exterior of the house, very, very simple. Basically just dug out like 3 rows of trenches all the way around the house. Replaced the first 2 rows with spruce wood planks. The final row I actually replaced with black stained clay, my new favourite material. This thing right here, beautiful. Replaced it with black stained clay, and then I placed jungle leaves all the way around directly on top of the clay. And as you can see, just as you look underneath the hedging, it looks ever so slightly darker and it looks a little more like soil. And I like the effect. You guys might, you might not. That's completely up to you. And that is the house 100% complete. But you know what? I like this house so much. We're going to take off the UI and we're going to give it another spin. So let's have a look and let's just marvel at this house, and then we can go. This is probably going to be the last modern house that I make in the upcoming months that looks anything like this. I've done about 3 or 4 of these, maybe even close to 5, that look very similar to this, and I think that that's probably enough of this style. So I might look into making some more brick houses or some different looking quartz houses, modern houses maybe, or I might make some more wood ones, but this is probably going to be the last house that looks roughly similar to this. I think this is a good place to finish off. Let me get the view for the thumbnail whilst I'm here. Yeah, that'll look nice. So, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you managed to make the house no problem, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Who knows what that'll be.